day and welcome to the program from the National Assembly. I am Mitaire Igben. Thanks for joining us at this time. Parliament has resumed plenary and Speaker of the House of Representatives, Tajuddin Abbas, says lawmakers would accelerate action on legislations that affect the well-being of Nigerians. Addressing members of the House after the Salah and Easter recess, the Speaker highlighted issues of security, the economy, education, electoral reforms, and healthcare delivery among those that would receive priority in the last lap of the second legislative year of the 10th Assembly. He says lawmakers must now move decisively to expedite action in the consideration and passage of critical bills that directly impact the stability, prosperity, and well-being of Nigerians. We now bring you highlights of the House resumption.
I pledge to Nigeria, my country, to be faithful, loyal, and honest, to serve Nigeria with all my strength, to defend our unity and uphold our honor and glory. So help me God. I have examined and approved the votes and proceedings of Thursday, 27th March 2025. Honorable colleagues, we have today in our midst students coming from Christland High School, Abuja. They're here to observe our proceedings. Please can you stand up for recognition. Honorable colleagues, it is my distinct pleasure to welcome you all back from the Salah and Easter recess. I trust the break afforded you the opportunity to reconnect with your families, engage with your constituents, and reflect deeply on the moral and spiritual lessons these sacred seasons inspired. I would like to highlight the enhancement of the digital infrastructure within the chamber, which will greatly facilitate legislative activities. Honorable colleagues, our legislative engagement before the break featured many significant milestones. Notably, this Honorable House passed the tax reform bills aimed at improving revenue generation, simplifying compliance, and encouraging investment. These investment achievements reflects our enduring commitment to responsible economic governance and national development. We also demonstrated unwavering fidelity to the Constitution in our swift response to the political unrest in Rivers State. Following the President's transmission of a proclamation of a state of emergency, the House acted in accordance with Section 305 of the 1999 Constitution as amended to endorse the measure. Subsequently, we inaugurated a 21-member ad hoc committee led by the leader of the House to exercise oversight of the caretaker administration and safeguard democratic accountability in the state. That committee has since commenced its engagement with stakeholders on the ground. In addition to these accomplishments, I'm happy to mention a significant event during our recess: the first Speaker's New Media Exchange, a pioneering initiative by the House of Representatives. We acknowledge the changing public discourse and aim to enhance Parliament's connection with citizens, particularly engaging youth through modern platforms like digital influencers and online leaders. Just yesterday, I opened the first legislative conference on renewable energy in Lagos, attended by members of Parliament from Africa, subnational governments, and industry experts. I emphasize Nigerians' urgent need to shift from fossil fuels to renewable energy. I also outlined key federal government efforts under President Bola Ahmed Tinubu and legislative initiatives from the 10th House to support this transition. Honorable colleagues, as we engage in vital initiatives, it is important to acknowledge the challenges facing our nation. The House unequivocally condemns these attacks on innocent citizens. We acknowledge the need for renewed investment in security intelligence, surveillance technology, and interagency coordination. On behalf of the House, I extend heartfelt condolences to the bereaved families and urge our security agencies to not only bring the perpetrators to justice, but also to redouble efforts to prevent further violence. On the economic front, the International Monetary Fund concluded its 2025 Article 4 consultations in Abuja. The fund acknowledged Nigeria's progress in discontinuing central bank deficit financing and ending fuel subsidies, measures that reflect growing fiscal discipline. However, it also called for sustained efforts to curb inflation and bolster external reserves. As a legislative body, we shall ensure our appropriation and oversight processes reinforce these macroeconomic objectives. Environmental forecasts indicate that over 30 states face severe flooding during the upcoming rainy season. In anticipation, I call on all relevant committees of the House to work with the executive branch to review the country's emergency preparedness, propose mitigation strategies, and provide oversight over legislative frameworks on disaster risk management and climate resilience. As we prepare to address these immediate environmental challenges, we must also focus on our longer-term legislative priorities. One such priority is the ongoing work of the House Committee on the Review of the Constitution. This committee has been diligently engaging stakeholders across the country and is expected to achieve substantial progress in the months ahead. Our goals remain clear. We aim to commence and complete the constitutional amendment process in good time, with broad consensus and outcomes that reflect the will of the Nigerian people. In addition, we must now move decisively to expedite the consideration and passage of critical bills that directly affect Nigerians' stability, prosperity, and well-being. Key among these is the much-anticipated electoral reform bill, which is fundamental to strengthening our democratic processes. Furthermore, we must also prioritize legislation in areas that impact the lives of all Nigerians, including unemployment, poverty alleviation, fiscal reform, healthcare, education, and security. As we prepare to mark the second anniversary of the 10th House of Representatives, I wish to inform this House that the coming weeks will be exceptionally busy with a series of carefully curated engagements aimed at celebrating our progress, showcasing institutional reforms, and reinforcing the connection between the legislature and the Nigerian people. Key among these is the public policy dialogue scheduled for 12 May in Abuja. In June, we shall host a citizens engagement and media roundtable in Abuja and zonal media engagements in Kaduna and Lagos, respectively. The House Open Week, scheduled for the 1st to 4th July, will provide further platforms for engagements and transparency. In continuation of our efforts to strengthen public communication, a live media chat on the activities of the House will also feature prominently during the anniversary week. This will enable the leadership to speak directly to Nigerians about our legislative priorities, performance, and aspirations while receiving direct feedback from the citizens we serve. I call on all honorable members to participate fully in these activities. They are not merely ceremonial. They reflect our values as the People's House and offer critical platforms for evaluating our work, refining our agenda, and projecting our collective vision. I equally urge the Committee on Legislative Agenda and the Committee on Monitoring and Evaluation of Standing and Ad hoc Committees to closely collaborate with the Office of the Speaker to ensure smooth planning, execution, and documentation of all anniversary activities. In conclusion, honorable colleagues, I want to take a moment to express my heartfelt gratitude for your steadfast loyalty and support. As we prepare to mark our second anniversary, I encourage you to continue as we have begun and recommit ourselves to national service and legislative excellence. Thank you, and may the Almighty continue to bless the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Thank you very much. The leader of the minority. You are welcome. Today we will test.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
We will test whether or not what the opposition has been saying is true from their heart or not. I want to make an announcement which I will expect the leader of the opposition to respond immediately. But before then, I want to read a communication from Mr. President and Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. The message is on the 2025 statutory budget proposal for the Federal Capital Territory, Abuja. His message reads as follows. Pursuant to Section 299 of the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, 1999 as amended, which vests legislative powers over the Federal Capital Territory, FCT Abuja, on the National Assembly, I hereby present the 2025 FCT budget proposal to the House of Representatives for consideration. The 2025 FCT budget proposal prioritize investment in healthcare services, job creation, youth empowerment, social welfare services, education, infrastructure, as well as increasing productivity in agriculture. Our objective is to lift as many of our citizens out of poverty as we can. The House of Representatives is invited to note that on the basis of revenue forecast for the FCT, a total expenditure of 1,783,708,392 naira is proposed for the year 2025. As such, 85% of the capital expenditure is dedicated to the completion of ongoing projects, while 15% is for new capital projects, so as to sustain ongoing efforts at providing basic infrastructure and social amenities in the FCT. I hereby forward the 2025 FCT statutory budget proposal and trust that it to receive the expeditious consideration and passage by the House of Representatives. Please accept, Right Honorable Speaker, the assurances of my highest regards. Yours sincerely, signed, Bola Ahmed Tinubu. Honorable colleagues, my first announcement is on the constitution of a conference committee on tax reform bills, of which I'm sure you're aware, Senate will take a final position within the week. So this is the composition of the members that will be representing the House in any reconciliation that may arise from the resolutions of the Senate. We have Right Honorable James Abiodun Faleke, who will chair the conference committee from the House. We have Right Honorable Ahmed Idris Wase, Honorable Sade Soli, Honorable Fred Abedi, Honorable Iduma Igarue, Honorable Ado Dogwa, Honorable Nicholas Mutu, Honorable Mukhtar Ali Betera, and Honorable Jimmy Benson as members.
Mr. Speaker, we are a transparent House. I don't think it will be ideal for a chairman that superintend over the conversation on the tax bill to equally superintend under the harmonization and conference committee with the Senate of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. It's my kind observation, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you very much. No better person in the House who knows the position of the House, clause by clause, on what we have agreed. It is for him to go and defend the position of the House.
Carry it, Mr. Speaker. Carry it.
Thank you.
Carry it.
Thank you. Thank you for the understanding. We are receiving good news from some members of the PDP. And I can see my good friend looking at me intently, and I'm sure he's very interested. It will be a day of jubilation for him. I received a letter from Honorable Chid Mark Obeta, the member representing Isuka, Igbo Ize South Federal Constituency of Enugu State. And he has a letter with the subject matter, notification of change of political party affiliation. I hope the minority leader is listening. His message reads as follows: I write to formally notify you and the esteemed leadership of the 10th House of Representatives of my decision to change my political party affiliation from the Labour Party to the People's Democratic Party, effective immediately. This became necessary due to the leadership division in the Labour Party. I was compelled. Order, please. Order,
please.
Order, please. This became necessary due to the leadership division in the Labour Party. I was compelled to make the decision after careful consideration of my political ideals, the interests of my constituents, and my commitment to the democratic principles which guides our legislative responsibilities.
Order, please.
I deeply appreciate the opportunities afforded to me by my former party. I look forward to continuing my service to the nation under this new affiliation. Please accept the assurances of my highest regards. Signed, Honorable Chidi M. Obeta. Honorable Chidi, please can you rise for recognition? Honorable colleagues, This is our newest member of PDP caucus of the House of Representatives. Another announcement is coming.
Order, please.
Is coming from Honorable Dennis Nnamdi Abo, member representing Igbo Ize North Udenu Federal Constituency of Enugu State. His message reads as follows. Notification of resignation from Labour Party and return. I don't know how he carved it to return to People's Democratic Party, whether he was in PDP before Labour and then back to PDP. His message reads as follows. Mr. Speaker, honorable colleagues, it is common knowledge that the war of attrition between contending factions for the soul of Labour Party has defied solution. The two factions rely on the same court judgment to lay claim on their control of the party. And so the hope of a Supreme Court judgment bringing a lasting solution to the division in the party has again been dashed. Mr. Speaker, in deference to the popular wish of the highly enterprising people of Igbo Ize, North and Udenu Federal Constituency, the lingering crisis and intractable division in the Labour Party, and in recognition of the same superlative performance of the governor of Enugu State, I wish to inform you of my decision to resign my membership of the Labour Party and return to the People's Democratic Party. Signed, Right Honorable Sir Dennis Nnamdi Abo, FCA. Honorable Dennis, please can you rise for recognition? The leader of opposition. I know each time we announce defections, you always cite some constitutional provisions to defend. So what will you say today? We're listening to you.
I believe the Speaker has another announcement. Let me allow the Speaker to complete all his announcements. Then I will respond. Thank you, Mr.
Leader. I have an information or an announcement coming from Right Honorable Barrister Victor O. Nwokolo. The subject matter of his announcement is resignation of my membership from the People's Democratic Party. And the message reads as follows. This is to formally notify you of my resignation from the People's Democratic Party to the All Progressive Congress APC. My resignation is as a result of the unresolved disputes at the national headquarters as well as the South-South zone of the party. This takes immediate effect from Wednesday, 30th April 2025. Please accept the assurances of my sincere regards. Signed, Right Honorable Barrister Victor O. Nwokolo. I also have another announcement this time around. It's coming. I'm sure Honorable Victor is Honorable Victor around? He's not on the floor. Okay. I have another announcement coming from Honorable Julius G. Pondi. The subject matter of this announcement is notification of defection from the People's Democratic Party to the All Progressive Congress APC. And his message reads as follows. I write to formally notify the Honorable House of my decision to resign my membership of the People's Democratic Party, PDP, and to henceforth align myself with the All Progressive Congress, APC. This decision has become imperative following the unresolved and deepening division within the PDP's leadership structure, both at the national and zonal levels. The party's internal crisis has not only weakened its cohesion, but has also severely hampered its capacity to effectively represent the interests and aspirations of my constituents in Burutu Federal Constituency. After extensive consultation with my constituents, supporters, political associates, and key stakeholders, I have concluded that continued membership in the PDP no longer serves the best interests of the people I represent. Consequently, I have decided to join the All Progressive Congress, APC, a platform I believe offers a more stable and progressive environment to continue my legislative duties. I have another announcement, this time coming from Honorable Thomas Erietomi. The subject matter of the announcement is notice of defection from the People's Democratic Party to the All Progressive Congress, APC. Is High Chief around? Please, can you stand up for recognition? Honorable colleagues, the newest member of APC in the House. Congratulations, my brother. Again, honorable colleagues, another announcement. Again, I hope the leader of the opposition is listening. Another announcement. This announcement is coming from no one other than the oldest member of the Parliament of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. The only member who has been in the House of Representatives unbroken, back to back, since 1999. And that person is no other than Honorable Mutu Nicholas Ebomo. I write to formally notify this Honorable House of my defection from the People's Democratic Party to the All Progressive Congress, APC.
Order, please.
This is necessitated by the lingering and unresolved internal divisions within the national and zonal levels of the People's Democratic Party, PDP. Again, honorable colleagues, another announcement. Again, I formally and humbly write to notify this great House that I have officially decamped from People's Democratic Party, PDP, to the All Progressive Congress, APC, having submitted my resignation letter to the world chairman of my former party, PDP. Right, Honorable Speaker, henceforth, I wish to be recognized as a bona fide member of the APC, having been duly registered in my ward.
Decamping from Labour Party to PDP, which is family affairs.
How did he make it family?
The other one,
Do they have the same registration
the
number?
other one is from another party to another party. But Labour Party and PDP are family, and we can reconcile ourselves in-house. But the other one, you have to declare their seat vacant.
Thank you for this. Thank you, leader. You have spoken well.
Mr. Speaker, I also received another hope this morning when my brother, Honorable Kumo, assured me that himself and Deputy Speaker are working modalities to see how they can join us in PDP.
He has a motion that he deems urgent for your attention. Please, can you rise and move your motion?
To investigate the recent fire incidents at Armory of Giwa Barracks and the escalating attacks on military formations in Borno and Yobe states. The recent fire incident at the Armory of 127 Battalion, Giwa Barracks, expressed deep concern about the escalating attacks on military formations in Borno and Yobe State. Aware that the Boko Haram has escalated their attack on several military formations within these 2 months. Also that several soldiers and civilians were killed in the recent attacks. Worry that the barrack was severely attacked by Boko Haram and the surrounding civilian settlements continue to be at risk. Concern that the recent surge in Boko Haram attacks on military formation is deeply alarming, and is also bravery and sacrifice of our military personnel are being tested by these relentless assaults. Resolve to investigate the cause of fire incident at Giwa Barracks, Amod, and report back to the House for immediate action to prevent the future occurrence. Conduct a thorough review of security measures in military installations to prevent similar incidents. Also implement the November 2020 resolution by this hallowed chamber for the relocation of the barracks to outskirts of Maiduguri as fast by the 9th Assembly. Strengthening the security operation in Borno and Yobe State to protect military personnel and civilians. Provide support and compensation to the families of soldiers affected by these incidents. Mandate the Committee on Army, Defense, Navy, Air Force, and National Security to investigate and report back.
I rise this morning to second the motion as moved by my brother. I so second. Thank you, sir.
There are amendments or observations or comments? I start with Honorable Gadi.
Mr. Speaker, you will only understand the heaviness of the content of this motion if we are privileged to see the picture of what Boko Haram did to Giwa Barracks and other attacks within military formations in Borno State. Mr. Speaker, the pictures I saw, I am scared. I am scared whether the safety of the Nigerian civilians within the Nigerian territorial land can be guaranteed. Mr. Speaker, we budgeted for money, arms and ammunition, tanks numbering more than 40, including other platforms that belongs to the Nigerian military that is aimed at safeguarding our people, have been taken away worth trillions of naira by Boko Haram. How can we guarantee the safety of the Nigerian people in the circumstance that the platform that are meant to protect these people have been taken away by the enemies of the people? Mr. Speaker, we have been doing our best under your leadership. The National Assembly have been speaking on issues of insecurity. But Mr. Speaker, actions by departments of government must be taken. Mr. President must hold Nigerian military strategic commandants and other head of security agencies accountable for negligence of their responsibility. In as much as we appreciate, Mr. Speaker, the security agencies for putting their life at the front line to protect Nigerians, to make sure Nigerians sleep, we must hold somebody accountable that taxpayers' money used to buy guns, used to buy other platform for Nigerian military to fight, will be compromised and be donated like a form of free of charge to the enemies of this country. Mr. Speaker, this is unacceptable. I want to say again and again, Nigerians are being killed on daily basis from the north to the south, to the west, to the east, and we are here for Nigerians. Mr. Speaker, government must do the needful. The everyday resolution that we pass is not enough. Mr. Speaker, if it means facing agencies of government as a National Assembly to ensure that publicly we bring them to account for their responsibility and to account for their negligence of responsibility, we have to do that. Mr. Speaker, I will send you intelligence of the picture of the arms and ammunition, of the platforms that have been taken away by Boko Haram in Maiduguri. And when the leaders, when the governor is crying, other representatives of government are first to issue statement undermining the supremacy of the chief security officer of the state, who knows what is happening in his state, who is crying, and someone within the comfort of his zone will say that the governor is raising an unnecessary alarm, whereas Nigerians are killing. This is unacceptable. Mr. Speaker, we must stand up and find a way of bringing this issue of insecurity to order. Otherwise, you and I is not safe. No matter how Nigerians respect us, we are moving to a level that Nigerians will fight us the way they fight criminals and the way they fight Boko Haram. Until the right thing is done by us here, until we speak for the Nigerian people, until we draw line, until we tell government what we are supposed to tell government, and until government respond by action, not by media statement or press statement. Do not hope, Mr. Speaker, that any member of the National Assembly is safe to move, not by bandit, not by Boko Haram, by the people that elected you and I. Time will come, if action is not taken, that Nigerians will take their destinies in their own hands. Thank you, Mr. Speaker, for giving me the opportunity to.
Mr. Speaker, I'm talking as a victim of the recent resurgence of an insurgence of Boko Haram. I was in my constituency on Saturday to sympathize, to condole with the people that lost their lives as a result of this sporadic, uninterrupted attacks in my constituency. In Pulka constituency, part of my constituency, 10 peasant farmers who went out to scavenge for what we call firewood. Peasant farmers were slaughtered by Boko Haram members, and 5 are still at large, and 3 are critically ill in the hospital. In Chibok, 14 peasant farmers were attacked in their community. In less than a blink of an eye, they reduced 14 people to none. As they are running, these people are running with their brand new motorcycles, using brand new AK-47s to kill people while they are running for their own lives. In Isge, I lost 2 military men, a captain and a senior officer, as a result of Boko Haram insurgents. In Kamburu, I lost 2 men and 1 military officer as a result of Boko Haram insurgents. In Wajiroko, I lost so many constituents. We lost so many constituents because Boko Haram is using armed drones. Let it be on record. They are using armed drones, weaponized drones, which the Nigerian army is not using. In other words, they are more sophisticated and advanced than the Nigerian army. Lastly, I lost people in Wajiroko. We lost people in Wajiroko as a result of Boko Haram insurgents. This is the few I can give you, just a tip of an iceberg as far as my constituency is concerned. I observe one thing. Boko Haram is fast coming back, worse than what we had in the past. Take it or leave it. Boko Haram, ISWAP, or whatever name you call them, they are coming back. Let us do something serious in order not to go back to our days when 22 local governments out of 27 local governments of Borno were occupied by Boko Haram. Secondly, Mr. Speaker, honorable members, we should be complacent. Rome used to be the greatest empire on the world, but it was destroyed by the complacency of the Romans because of their inability to take things serious, to deal with their enemies. So as I'm speaking to you, Personnel, there are no Nigerian army personnel. They don't have enough personnel to face these boys. That is the truth. They are committed. They are very strong in their own stand, but unfortunately, they don't have enough personnel and equipment to face the Boko Haram. I have seen it. Nobody reported it to me because I went to my constituency on Saturday and came back on Sunday. So, Mr. Speaker, honorable members, we shouldn't be complacent with this. I align with Honorable Gadi by saying that we should do our own needful by doing the proper oversight of money expended, because between 2015 to 2019, Nigerian government spent 19-point-something trillion naira on security issues. I have the record with me. So we shouldn't be complacent. Mr. Speaker, let me raise my voice here. My sister who lost 29 people as a result of insurgency, she may have something to say. And other honorable members, I thank you very much for listening, and we should rescue our country, Nigeria. Thank you, sir.
Mr. Speaker, in my contribution to what Honorable Satomi Ahmed has presented as a motion on the fire outbreak in Giwa Barracks. First and foremost, Mr. Speaker, the issue of the fire outbreak in Giwa Barracks is contradicting. Some quarters were saying that the fire outbreak
can you sit down, please?
is as a result of
Metuta.
Boko Haram attack.
Metuta, can you sit down, please?
We are given the impression that the fire outbreak came as a result of either a fire surge or whatever within the barracks. Because on that particular day, there hasn't been any Boko Haram attack in Maiduguri. And Mr. Speaker, from March to this time, in my own constituency, Mr. Speaker, in Wulgo, there has been a Boko Haram attack on military formation of the Multinational Joint Task Force, where more than 20 soldiers were killed. And Mr. Speaker, it will interest you to know that I visited that formation, and the commander told me that out of about nearly 100 soldiers in that formation, we have only 6 Nigerian soldiers. And it is a multinational joint task force where we expect to have, if not equal number, at least substantive number of Nigerian military men in that formation. And again, Mr. Speaker, the commanding officer of that formation revealed and confessed that it wasn't the first or the second time that formation has been attacked, but on that very day, that was on the 24th of March, 2025, that attack was unprecedented, because as rightly mentioned by my brother Honorable Jaha, the insurgents came to that formation, attacked the formation with drones, and he told me, he confessed that even within the Boko Haram insurgents that came, there has been several white men within them. He said so. And that means there is foreign influence in that area. And Mr. Speaker, another issue of concern for this House is that with the exit of Niger, Burkina Faso, and Mali from ECOWAS, it has also posed a lot of threat, especially at the borders of Malampatori and other borders bordering Niger and Nigeria. Because if there is no synergy, this insurgency will pose several threats to the country, not only to Borno State. Mr. Speaker, I would also like to bring to the notice of this House that military should look at how they are going to strategize their modus in fighting Boko Haram, and especially the existence of military formations within towns and cities. For instance, Giwa Barak is located right in the heart of Maiduguri, and on the day of that incident, it has caused a lot of panic, and before even the citizens or people living within Maiduguri, for them to understand that this is what is happening, it took some people leaving their homes, running out of Maiduguri, and it is just more chaotic than even the fire itself. And it would have even generated, if not for the swift action taken, it would have even generated in burning some part of Maiduguri. So these military formations, Mr. Speaker, with the intervention of this House in Maiduguri and in other places, should stay outside of the cities and towns, because they are there to protect the cities and not to stay within. And if you go and see the roadblocks they are mounting, causing accidents, especially if you go to the NAF headquarters you see in Maiduguri, it has killed more people on that road more than Boko Haram has done in that community. So, Mr. Speaker, I wish that these things should be looked at. And again, Mr. Speaker, on the 28th of April, just this month, in Kalabalige, there was a bridge that was constructed by the community. Boko Haram mounted EID explosive there, and it killed over 30 people in that community, Mr. Speaker. This is heartbreaking, is disheartening, and Mr. Speaker, it's a point of concern that if this wave of attacks, the EID bombs, the attacks on military formation and in communities are not taken with seriousness by the Nigerian military. And if you look at it, Mr. Speaker, I want to add that as mentioned by other speakers, we don't have enough personnel in these communities. If you go to Kalabalge, we have a handful of them. It is the civilian JTF and the hunters and the rest that are complementing the airport. Same thing in Gamborungala, same thing in Bama. Military formation in Bulayobe in Bama has been attacked. Their ammunition has been carted away with. Mr. Speaker, this is also a point of, there is a point of investigation in all this. Mr. Speaker, I may talk and talk and talk, but because for the paucity of time, I will come with another motion for you to understand the situation we are in Borno State. Mr. Speaker, these things should not be politicized. Our lives should not be politicized. Mr. Speaker, it has to be taken serious. This House is the last resort, Mr. Speaker, our community has, and we are coming in here for you to understand that we need the intervention of the National Assembly.
Dr. Zainab, I think...
Yes, Mr. Speaker, this is the last plea I'm going to make for you, Mr. Speaker, as the leader, for you to see that these communities are protected, are safe from all these harms. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
However, I've been advised that any time you are saying my constituency, you need to be categorical, because I was told that you have two constituencies. So please, when you are talking, you have to say which of the constituencies you are talking about. Thank you. Honorable Shatima, you have the floor.
Mr. Speaker, sir, my point of correction, firstly, is the issue of the misperceived attack, exploration versus attack happened in Yobe on Saturday 2nd up to Sunday 3rd of March, May, within the weekend that passed. Mr. Speaker, sir, the gruesome pictures trending on the social media is that of the attack on the military base in Bunegari in Yobe State, where Boko Haram attacked the military base, killing our military soldiers, burning all the armored cars and other weapons in that formation. And up to the point I'm talking, Mr. Speaker, sir, I have already posted on the platform of the 10th chamber. You can go through those pictures, Your Excellency. We need to have time for these security issues. It's not something we can be discussing in this plenary to get solution to the problem, the plight our people are. Both the military themselves, they have lost a lot of men on the battlefield. And as said by Honorable Dr. Gimba, there are foreign influence, whether we like it or not, there are foreign influence. Because whenever fight occurred, you will see a lot of weapons which they have superpower upon our military. What is happening? There are a lot of things to discuss. So this issue of security is not something we can just discuss here and then go away. We need to have a very drastic and aggressive measure, Mr. Speaker. That's my advice, sir. We need to take action, not talking on the on this issue and then leave it as they are. We have very serious issues, particularly the northeast. The Boko Harams are coming back with full force. So the government has to do something. My heart really bleeds when people are talking of 2027 politics. If there is no peace, there's no way you can play your politics. We need to save our people first. So that's the issue, Mr. Speaker, sir. So secondly, as part of the prayers, I'm suggesting, Mr. Speaker, the Committee on Army, the Committee on Security and Intelligence should come together, even with the police, for them to send a very high delegation to commiserate with the military personnel, military formation in Yobe, because if you see those pictures, we don't have any cause to sit down here to discuss this issue. We need to take it up with the presidency as well. So, Mr. Speaker, we need to do something serious on these issues. Thank you so much.
Mr. Speaker, thank you for the opportunity given to me. Mr. Speaker, I will be very brief. I just, first of all, want to concur with all the previous speakers, Mr. Speaker. But, Mr. Speaker, I have a different opinion and thinking about this matter of insecurity. Mr. Speaker, motions and debates, I came to realize, can no longer solve the problem of insecurity we have in this country, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I am from some states. Precisely, I represent Gusau's IP, Mr. Speaker. Gusau is the headquarters of Zamfara State, Mr. Speaker, whilst IP is the second largest local government of the state, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, this year alone, I have several motions of insecurity. Majority of my motions of this year is about insecurity for the killings that are taking place in my constituency. Mr. Speaker, nothing has been done, and the pressure is mounted day by day. Our people are being killed day by day, Mr. Speaker. Therefore, Mr. Speaker, I want this honorable House to come with another idea to be fair with our people. Mr. Speaker, we have to think how to create a law that will allow our people to protect themselves, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, we just need this thing, because like what Jah has said, Mr. Speaker, our security personnel are inadequate, Mr. Speaker. They don't know the terrain of our communities, Mr. Speaker. They are trying their best, but the problem, Mr. Speaker, they are inadequate and they don't know the terrain of our communities. Mr. Speaker, let this honorable House think a law that will allow our people to protect themselves from this menace, Mr. Speaker. This is my thinking and this is my own opinion, Mr. Speaker. Thank you very much.
Mr. Speaker, firstly, I'd like to commiserate with Mr. President. I'd like to commiserate with the Governor of Borno State and Yobe State. I'd like to commiserate with my honorable colleagues, Honorable Jaha, Honorable Gimba, and what's that guy's name? Honorable Gimba and Honorable Kauje, Honorable Satome. It's indeed a very sad day for Nigeria. Mr. Speaker, I stand here with all sense of responsibility and humility to say that the presidency has expended so much money, so much resources on the Nigerian military without commensurate results. Mr. Speaker, I also say with all sense of responsibility that Mr. President has on many times, many occasions, put the creation of state police on the front burner. Mr. Speaker, I will also stand to say with no equivocation that Mr. President has put up the autonomy of local government on the front burner. Mr. Speaker, all these have not been achieved. They are laudable projects by the presidency. However, Mr. Speaker, I would also like to amend the motion brought by Honorable Satome to invite the NSA, the CDS, and the top military echelon for an executive session whereby pertinent...
I don't think if that is necessary, because what you request based on the prayer is for a committee, a joint committee, or joint committees of Army, Defense, and what have you. It is within your purview to determine what.
Okay, I wasn't privileged to see the content of his motion, sir.
So I don't think if that amendment is necessary, because you will have the power to summon anyone.
Okay, I withdraw the amendment, sir.
Thank you.
Yes, sir. So I rest my case on what I've said earlier, sir. Thank you.
Whatever others will say will just be a mere repetition. So with your kind permission, we put the question. Those in support of this motion should say aye. Those against should say nay. The ayes have it. This motion is referred to the committees on Defense, Navy, Air Force, Army, National Security for further legislative action. The next motion is coming from Right Honorable Aliu Sani Madaki. He has a motion that he deems urgent for your attention. Honorable Madaki.
Mr. Speaker, with your kind permission, I want to come under Order 8, Rule 5, matters of urgent public importance. And the issue I want
Honorable
to bring...
Zakaria Shatima, please can you sit down?
Before the attention of this honorable House, it's a very sad incident.
We want to see you sitting down where you are.
It's a very sad incident that happens on the 27th of March, 2025, where innocent Nigerians traveling from Rivers State to Kano were stopped somewhere in Oromi in Edo State, and 16 of them were summarily killed or executed and burnt alive. And pictures were everywhere on social media, and I believe this is a very important issue. So I'm therefore appealing that we suspend all the relevant rules so that I may take this motion now. I so submit, Mr. Speaker.
Seconder to the first leg. Seconder to the first leg of the motion, Honorable Kumo.
I rise to second the motion ably moved by Honorable Ali Madaki. I so second.
Those against should say nay. The ayes have it.
Motion of urgent public importance. Brutal killings of hunters from Kano State by members of vigilante group in Oromi, Essen, Northeast Local Government of Edo State. Moved by Honorable Aliu Sani Madaki and Honorable Kabiru Al-Hassan Ruru. The House, aware that Section 41(1) of the 99 Constitution as amended guarantees the right of every Nigerian to move freely, reside, and engage in lawful economic activities in any part of the country without fear of molestation or discrimination. Note with concern the tragic and brutal killings of innocent hunters from Kano, particularly from Reno, Bunkure, Kibia Federal Constituency, traveling from Rivers to Kano for Eid celebration and had their vehicle intercepted by vigilante group and armed youth at Uromi in Essen northeast local
Honorable
government area
please approach the chair.
of Edo State. Also note that 16 people were killed and 2 injured who were said to be engaged in hunting activities, which is recognized as traditional and cultural practices in many parts of Nigeria, usually conducted with the understanding of the host communities. Further note that these individuals were wrongly accused without any investigation or evidence of being bandits or kidnappers, and were summarily executed in a manner that amount to extrajudicial killings and a gross violation of their fundamental human rights under the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, 1999, as amended. Disturbed that this horrific incident, which occurs on Thursday, March 27, mandate the Committee on Police Affairs and the House Committee on National Security and Intelligence to investigate the matter and report back to the House within 2 weeks. Urge the Edo State government to pay full compensation for all the life lost. Observe a minute's silence in honor of the innocent victims whose lives were unjustly cut short. I so submit, Mr. Speaker.
Those in support of this motion should say aye. Those against should say nay. That is it. This motion is referred to the committees on police affairs and national security and intelligence for further legislative action. Shall we rise for a minute silence, please? May their soul rest in peace. The next motion is coming from Honorable Blessing Ono. If Honorable Blessing is around, please, can you rise and move your motion?
I rise this afternoon to move a motion of urgent public importance, and I rise under Order A through 4, that the House set aside its relevant rule to enable me move this motion of urgent public importance on the need to address the deteriorating security situation in Otukpo local government area of Benue State. I so move.
I rise to second the motion ably moved by my sister.
So those in support of this motion should say aye. Those against should say nay. That is it.
Unfortunately, we are going through the same thing in Benue State as well. The House notes that the ancient town of Otukpo, a commercial hub in Benue South, connects the state with the eastern parts of the country. Therefore, it plays host not just to the people of Benue South, but to Nigerians from all walks of life, irrespective of tribe, religion, and ethnicity. Also note that the once peaceful town known for its hospitality had in recent years witnessed atrocious killings of armed elders. Communities affected include, but not limited to, Asatu, Akpa Otobi, Adoka, Okpamaju, and Emichi. This horrific act has left several persons dead, including a retired senior custom officer, and thousands are currently displaced, living in IDP camps. Worried that the people of Otukpo and its environs, who are largely farmers, can no longer access their farms and grow crops anymore, thus threatening food production and food sufficiency. The House resolved to, 1, condemn in strong terms the gruesome killings and destruction of properties in Otukpo community. 2, call on the National Security Advisor and the service chiefs to ensure maximum deployment of security personnel to the troubled areas such as Asa 2, Akpa Otobi, Okpamaju, Adoka Ugboju, and Emichi to ensure complete restoration of peace and order. 3, ensure that the perpetrators are arrested and brought to justice. 4, call on the Ministry of Humanitarian Affairs and National Emergency Management Agency to urgently provide relief materials to those affected by the attacks. 5, that a high-powered delegation of this House be sent to commiserate with the people of Otukpo who are still mourning the death of their loved ones. 6, the House observe a 1-minute silence in honor of those who lost their lives. Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker, for the opportunity.
These issues concern the security of all of us, the security of Nigerians. All the motions we have taken most of the days, both on emergency, urgent public importance, and the normal motions, always raise a serious concern about the situation we are facing in the country. Mr. Speaker, my honorable colleagues, Section 14, subsection 2, clearly stated that the primary function of any government, the primary function of the present government, is to provide security and also provide welfare to all Nigerians. Let me use the medium to appeal to the government, to appeal to the president, to take serious actions on securities, to take serious actions on welfare of Nigerians, to concentrate more on security and welfare of Nigerians, more than his concentrations on politicking. Mr. Speaker, I rise to appeal that let the government do the right thing and ensure that Nigerians are protected. I believe it was, if it was PDP government would have done better.
Those in support of this motion should say aye. Those against should say nay. That is have it. This motion is referred to the Committee on Humanitarian Affairs and National Security for further legislative action. The leader of the House, please can you move for the House to suspend its rules to take 1 or 2 more additional motions. So let's take the minute silence before you move. Honorable colleagues, please shall we rise? May the soul of the departed rest in peace.
I hereby move that the House suspends its relevant rules to enable more of motions of urgent public importance be taken. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
To second a motion moved by my very own leader, Honorable Halims. Thank you.
If Honorable Badao is ready, please can you rise and move your motion.
Mr. Speaker, I stand to move a motion of urgent public importance on need for the government to provide urgent security intervention for the Shannon Obogwe Federal Constituency of Kano State under the suspension of Rule 8, Order 4. Thank you. I so move.
I rise to second the motion moved by my honorable colleagues. I so second, Mr. Speaker.
Any seconder to the second leg of the motion? Yes, Honorable.
Mr. Speaker, I rise to second the second leg of the motion moved by my colleagues. Mr. Speaker, I so second. Thank you.
Motion of urgent public importance on the need for the government to provide urgent security intervention for the people of Shannon Obogwe constituency. The House notes that on the 17th April 2025 at about 8 p.m. in the evening, a gang of armed men bandits attacked the busy market of Parurua town in Shanono local government area of Kano State. Worried. This attack led to the deaths of 2 people and 6 people were sustained injuries. 1 person was also kidnapped. Concern. Similar attack is operation occur in 26 April 2025 at about 2 p.m. midnight. But the bandit was intercepted by the people of Shanono town, where the incident happened, and no life was lost. Also, another incident was happened on the 2nd day of May 2025 at about 10 a.m. Another at Papawa village and Shalimi in Shanono Ogwepere constituency. 1 person was kidnapped, 7 motorcycles was stolen, and handsets was also stolen. No life was also lost. Furthermore, in the recent time, there has been a situation of arrest across the affected area of Shanono Ogwepere constituency of Kano State without government intervention. Many lives will be lost and banditry activities will increase in the area. Resolve. Urge the Inspector General of Police and the head of security, all head of security agencies to come with a tactical operational force which will stop the occurrence of the banditry occurrence in the area. Mandate the House Committee on Police and Defense to investigate the occurrence of that incident and report back to the House within 4 weeks for legislative action, and urge the House Committee, to have 1 minute silence in respect of the deceased, to mandate the House Committee on Legislative Compliance to ensure compliance. I so move, Mr. Speaker, honorable colleagues. Thank you.
I rise to second the motion, ably moved by Honorable Badau, member representing Shanono Bagwe from Kano State on security issues that bordered on his constituency. I so second, Mr. Speaker.
Those against should say nay. The ayes have it. This motion is referred to the committees on defense and police affairs for further legislative action. Honorable colleagues, shall we rise for a minute silence, please? May the soul of the departed rest in peace. Honorable colleagues, the first business of the day is presentation of 20 bills. I'll now invite the clerk to read their short titles.
Right Honorable Speaker, honorable members. Nigerian Educational Research and Development Council Act Amendment Bill 2025, first reading. Counterfeit and Fake Drugs and Unwholesome Processed Foods and Drinks Miscellaneous Provision Act Amendment Bill 2025, first reading. Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria 1999 Alteration Bill 2025, first reading. National Biotechnology Research Institute Kaduna State Bill 2025, first reading. Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria 1999 Alteration Bill 2025, first reading. National Assembly Service Pension Board Act Amendment Bill 2025, first reading. Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria 1999 6 Alteration Bill 2025, first reading. Chartered Institute of Business Psychology of Nigeria Establishment Bill 2025, first reading. Federal University of Allied Health Sciences BICHI Establishment Bill 2025, first reading. National Metallurgical Training Institute APOMU Establishment Bill 2025, first reading. Institute of Vocational and Technical Studies Aniocha Delta State Establishment Bill 2025, first reading. Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria 1999 6 Alteration Bill 2025, first reading. Federal Universities of Technology Act Amendment Bill 2025, first reading. Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria 1999 6 Alteration Bill 2025, first reading. Administration of Criminal Justice Act Amendment Bill 2025, first reading. Nigerian Youth Trust Fund Establishment Bill 2025, first reading. Institute of Chartered Applied Institute of Chartered Applied Information Management Professionals of Nigeria Establishment Bill 2025, first reading. National Groundnut Production Processing and Research Institute, Kankia, Katsina State Establishment Bill 2025, first reading. Bank Employees ETC Declaration of Asset Acts Amendment Bill 2025, first reading. National Drug Law Enforcement Agency Act Amendment Bill 2025, first reading.
Honorable colleagues, because of the technical problems we are encountering with the sound system, we want to implore you to please forgive us. We won't be able to continue with this plenary. We'll move all orders from the first to the last to the next legislative dates.
And those were highlights of the House resumption of plenary after 5 weeks of recess. The House of Representatives has also launched an investigation into alleged irregularities in the disbursement of student loans. Let's take a listen.
Pursuant to Sections 88 and 89 of the 1999 Constitution, that further with the standing order of the House of Representatives and power of legislative oversight, which mandates the committee to monitor the management and administration of student loan scheme, has been implemented by the Nigerian Education Loan Fund. In view of the above, the committee has been inundated with several reports making waves on the social media, including concerns about possible diversion of public funds and issues that has to do with the disbursement and administration of the student loans by certain tertiary institutions. This has necessitated this meeting that we have called the agency, the Nigerian Education Loan Fund, to come and make clarifications and enlighten this committee on the issues that have been making rounds on social media. So, MD, based on this, you have been invited to make clarifications and enlighten this committee on the issues that have been going on the disbursement and administration of the student loans being administered by your agency. So, you can go ahead and make your presentation.
We, as the NEL Fund, were caught up in that release by the ICPC, who indicated that they were of the opinion that funds had been diverted by the Nigerian Education Loan Fund. We immediately reacted to that report because we recognized the damage. Even though we knew it was unfounded, we recognized the damage that it might do to public confidence in a scheme where there was already a great deal of skepticism. Our reaction led to the ICPC looking again at their statement, and within a matter of hours, they retracted the statement that suggested that the Nigerian Education Loan Fund might be diverting funds. They did not retract their assertion about the irregularities in the educational system and in the institutions, but they retracted wholeheartedly their allegation that funds have been diverted. I don't think that has happened ever in Nigeria, where a security agency within hours reverses itself on a statement that was made. Nevertheless, a great deal of damage was done because, as you know, honorable members, once news is out there, you can retract all you like. It takes on a life of its own, and a lot of confidence has been lost in our institution. And it is sad for the institution of NEL Fund and for the country of Nigeria. We have worked very hard to put out the narrative that actually the new statement by the ICPC vindicates NEL Fund and establishes the fact that no funds have been diverted. So, if I can quickly go to the numbers, just to set the scene for how the expenditure at NELFund has gone and how we see, based on the facts that we have, what institutions have and what students have benefited. So, I can say, first of all, before I go into the numbers, let me say that the funds that are received by NELFund and the law that you, this great house, put in place was very clear. 90%, 90% of the funds that come to NELFund are to be spent exclusively on the loans. So 90% of any fund that we receive must go towards paying the fees of students. Those funds cannot be touched and cannot be used for anything else. Any form of diversion in that regard will be a breach of the law. So just going straight through to the numbers, I can confirm that the Nigerian Education Loan Fund has done the following. NELFund has paid, as of today, 303 institutions, government-owned institutions, universities, polytechnics, colleges of education. 303. NELFund has paid out, has disbursed a total of approximately 54 billion naira. 54 billion naira has left the account of NELFund to go to pay for the loans that people have applied for. That 54 billion naira is split into two sections. 30 billion of those, the naira I just talked about, the 54 billion, 30 billion has been paid to the 303 institutions that I just mentioned. 24 billion has been paid as upkeep, as pocket money or stipend to 293,000 students who are Nigerians studying at tertiary level in Nigerian government-owned institutions. So I'll just repeat that. 54 billion has been disbursed in total from inception of the NELFund, and of that 54 billion, 30 has gone to institutional payments, and 24 billion, billions I'm talking about, has gone to pocket money, stipend, or upkeep, depending on the language we want to use, representing direct beneficiaries of NELFund at 293,000. So far, NELFund has received 203 billion naira in the bank account that we hold at the Central Bank of Nigeria. I'll just break that down because those funds came in segments. We received initially 10 billion from the Office of the Accountant General, appropriated funds as directed by the Honorable Minister for Finance. We then received 71 billion naira from TETFund, approximately. This was as a result of an order by the President for TETFund to release 143 billion naira to NELFund. They released 71 billion in the first instance, plus, and then another 71 billion, making 143 when we add the top onto it. So, and then finally, we received a further 50 billion naira proceeds, recovered proceeds of crime from the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, again as directed as an intervention fund from His Excellency, the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. So the total comes to 203 billion naira received. I raised these and I mentioned these figures because clearly there were errors in apart from the fact that the statement by the ICPC was unfounded and later confirmed by them that they were unfounded, there were also some inaccuracies in their announcement. Their announcement suggested that we had received 100 billion naira. That figure was wrong. The announcement suggested that 28 billion had been disbursed. That figure was wrong. It was understated, both figures understated. And it therefore concluded that therefore 71 billion naira may have been diverted. So you can see that from even the figures they provided, which were inaccurate in the first instance, the wrong conclusions were drawn even about that. I have to say that we take with the utmost seriousness any issues of funds being diverted within and outside or related to in any way NELFund, because we recognize that this project is a sacred project and it should not be tampered with, because the people and the constituency that we are catering for really usually have nowhere else to turn to. They have no jobs, they have no opportunities, and education represents probably the last bridge that they can climb to get an opportunity. So we recognize that we can stunt the growth of not just Nigeria, but of individuals within Nigeria if we don't behave and act responsibly.
And that's the size of the program today. We thank you so much for joining us. Do join us again next week for another episode. I am Mitaire Ikben saying stay patriotic and stay out of trouble. Bye for now.